Welcome everyone to a Python Lab. We've seen two sessions in the last time, and we have discussed about how to get started with Flask and how to design layouts using Bootstrap and CSS. Today, we will continue from the previous tutorials we've done, and we connect our Flask app to MySQL database using SQLAlchemy. SQLAlchemy is a mapper class that used to define and validate queries of MySQL database. So before that, let's create the layouts of the form that's gonna be used to create the post. So to do this, just first go to the index.html. If you are new to this, this session, you can watch the previous two video tutorials on YouTube, and you can download or clone the GitHub repositories. I will put all the links in the description box of these tutorials. Okay, let's get started. First, let's create a button. Here is the layouts of the index of the home page. This is the left sides that display the latest articles, and this is the second column, which displays the list of articles posted by anyone who are the admins or the privileges to post any resources. Okay, first let's button. We need to create a button here in the inside the row, and the button is to redirect to the post.html page. Posts, this is the path that redirect. When you click the button, just route to the post.html page. The post.html page we are going to create is that used to create register the posters, the articles. Okay, class, just button class success, and put the button to the right sides of the layouts. Float end, just floating to the right end of the layout. New post. Okay, when you click this button, it will route to the post.html, but we don't have any post.html page, so we need to create that page into the templates. This is an empty page, so just to save your time, copy all the layouts from index.html and paste here, and just keep all the things here, but change this to when you just change the button to home. When you click on home, it will get back to the home or dashboard of the index page. And this is the left side is just, you can keep as it is, but go to the right side contents in the column MD7 class, and remove this part, the for loop block, because it is not necessarily here, and change this, the header, create new post, and avoid inside the card body class, avoid this, and create form attributes, and give URL for this, just keep as it is. And inside the form, create the let's div group form group, just label title, give title, and grouping the form, that is the class attributes. CSS bootstrap attributes, input type is text, and the name is title. You can give, because it is important when you create when you register the form. We just request the name of this form, and we can give required attributes that protect our form from submitting empty data into database. Okay, this form group, then let's create another form group. Group and label. The label, you can give description about the title of the post, and we create text area rather and give disk for the default rows and columns are provided, and type is text. This also give required attributes to keep submitting MBT. And the other is button, submitting button. We need modal footer, and we just give for button. The type should be submitted, and we don't need to provide name for this. And also give class for primary for this, and name create. Okay, now we have finished all the layouts of the form to register the posts into MySQL database. Next, we need to create routers, because without routers, it doesn't redirect to the any page or HTML route. So go to the index.php and create the route. Create routes to post.html. Add up.routes. Just give posts, because this route name is similar to the path name. Similar. If you analyze, and otherwise it doesn't redirect to the required page. It will, because it will not find that path. Okay. Now create div post and return render to templates to post.html. Okay, let's start our server. Actually, I have started the server previously, and this is the layout, the new post. When you click this, it will redirect to the post.html page, and when you click on home, it return it back to the home page. Let's give class for our form form control. Also give class form control. And if the buttons just give primary, change it to primary, the home page. When you click this, it redirects to the index. The routing name of this index is, this one. So because this is the first page, automatically redirects to this page, index page. You don't need to give any route name. Okay. This is the form, but when you click this, there is no action button applied, so it will not insert any values here. Here, there is no method is not allowed actually. Here, if because we have no created the routes for this. This is the home page. Okay, now next step is creating our database, MySQL database. Actually, let's assume you have a MySQL database, but we need to install the SQLAlchemy and PyMySQL libraries to leverage the MySQL database to Flask app. Okay, now go to the just install the pip install SQLAlchemy on your virtual environment, because this virtual environment is important to keep. Oh, I missed uninstall all the required libraries or modules separately. I've already installed these libraries previously, so required already satisfied, it says, and also install PyMy. This is important when you connect your PyMySQL. Okay, this also already installed. Okay, now all the required libraries are installed on your virtual environment, let's assume, and let's start our server again and create a configuration file first. Here, actually, I have created a file config.py, which keeps all the configurations here, and create a class config import OS operating system that, and secret key. This is important. This is a random secret key that securely keep your application from unauthorized access or from any illegal activities. This grabs the folder where the script runs, os.path, the absolute paths of your scripts, where the scripts are stored or located. Just automatically grab the directories. And debug, this is true, while debugging mode is true. It will just help us to debug our errors or bugs. When you are in production stage, you need to turn off the debugging mode, because that is not important in the production, which means when you are published your application on cloud or any server, so you don't need to enable the debugging mode, just debug keep false instead. And here is the important, the database URI. The database URI is MySQL, PyMySQL. I use MySQL actually. You can use other database management system or relational database. PyMySQL and this is a colon. A root is the MySQL database default username, and I use a password actually. If your MySQL database has no password, which is not set previously, so just leave empty this one. I have provided a password for my MySQL database and add symbol the localhost. The localhost is the localhost of the or the address of the MySQL database. Actually, a default is localhost. If you are publishing on server, you should provide the server address here. Then slash the database name, the log app. So I need to create the database inside the MySQL database. MySQL, I mean, so in your MySQL, you need to create a database. Here, create new database, log app. Once you create, you don't need to create any table here. Anytime the models should be created in Flask app. So when you are running your server, all the tables or the database tables will be migrated into this database below app. So then call the name below app here. Don't miss spelling here. So this is the database URI. Important to set this SQLAlchemy database URI because SQLAlchemy is important to map your MySQL database queries and validate and define all the database queries. And SQL track modifications keep false. This is turn off the Flask Alchemy event system and any warning. These are for if you want to create user or login system, you can use the setting security password hash method, like just you can use any security. You can also set security password salt. This is if you want to upload any picture or images, you can just set all the upload extension, upload folders in static. All static files will be kept in the static folder. Okay, once you set this, all the settings, required settings, just go to the app.py and configuration, create and initialize plugins here. Then app.config.from object. This is a method. Then call the config is the file config.py. Inside this, there is a class config. All the configuration files will be create here and import from the config.py because this is the config file. Okay. Now let's create a SQLAlchemy object, database object. Let's create. Keeping all the files separated is important to manage, to debug if any errors are generating or found. Okay, db.py. Here from Flask SQLAlchemy import SQLAlchemy and create the database object for the SQLAlchemy. Then in the app.com, just import from DB module, import the object DB, because here we have created the object DB for the SQLAlchemy. And here initialize, db.init app, initialize this SQLAlchemy database into the Flask application, because another sender otherwise to know creates this database. Okay, and also here with create app context, create all database if database not exists. db.create all. This is the method from SQLAlchemy. So when you run your application, if there is a model, database model, it will create if that database is not exist in MySQL database. Okay. Now we have finished this part, and the next stage is creating a model for our application. Go to the models directory and create a new file, post.py. Here, first import the database db, from db import db. Then we create the class post and import the models from the database model inside this. Then create columns for our database table. ID is primary key, which is iteratively increase the number that identifies each post. db.column db, this ID should be integer, and keep this ID primary key. And title of the post db column, and give the type for this column db.string type, and provide the number of characters. And description for this post db.column db.text, the type of this column, and post date, date of the post db column db.date. All these are the columns of our database table post. Now instantiate the object div init, create self. This is a Python. If you know Python well, it is so simple. Give title name, description, post date, and assign self to each, which is the self is the object of the automatically assigns the object name when you instantiate that object. title self dot disk description self dot, but you don't need to instantiate the ID because ID is automatically or auto increment when you insert a new post into database. It will increase by default. So because we keep it a primary key. Self post date. I mean here post date p date. Okay, now we create method. Create div create post dict. Just create a dictionary as a parameter for this method, and new post assign the dictionary post the object of the, we are instantiating the object of the post class, and title assign post dict title and comma the disk post dict disk and p date post date post dict p date. That are the title, the dictionary key are all are these just assigned to the arguments and passed to the as an argument to the function in it or the object in it as an argument. Then create the post, create the add to the database and commit the changes. db.session.add method and call new post. When you call this, just it will add into database and commit the changes. db.session.commit. Now we have finished our model. We have created the columns for our post class, post table, and instantiate our objects and pass the attributes, arguments as a parameter, as a dictionary to the parameters, title, description, and post date. And we commit, add to the database and commit to the changes. Okay, now go to the index route page, and we create the routes for our form. Here we provide action for in post.html file, and in the form action we provide create post. This is the method. Then go to index.py and route to create post at app.route create post, and methods are either post or get request methods. Those are the request methods, and create post method for these routes, and request the methods. First request the method if the request dot method is post, because in our post.html the method is post. So when you request this method and the URL or the path is exactly similar to this path, just it will do something. Then get form values from the form. Title. Request the title form from the form. Just call the name. Request the name of the title. This is title. And the name of the description is disk. That's it. Okay. And disk request to form disk and post date. Post date is just take the today's dates. It doesn't matter. Just import from datetime and import dates. Just date today. Now pass to the save. Save to the database. How? First here, call import from models, post import all the modules. Then post dot create. We call the from post. We call this create method and pass the form values as a arguments, as a dictionary. Title, the dictionary name here in the post is title, disk, and p underscore date. And title is this one, assign, and disk, the disk, and p date, the dictionary key name is p date, and assign the p date value. Now finished. Okay, to now the post is successfully saved into database. Just flash message. First, import flash from Flask and flash the message. Post created. And once the post is the flash message is returned and redirect to return the required paths or URL, redirect to URL for post. This is the path, this one. So when you successfully save the post data, it will redirect to the page post.html. But we need import URL underscore for and redirect from the request also should be imported from Flask URL for redirect. All these are the methods which are modules from Flask module flash. Now we finished all things here and go to post.html page and create success message here from flash, add flash to display success message while new record. New record. Just we use the block with messages get flashed messages method. End with here. Inside this, we just if there is a success messages from by these messages will be got from the flashed message. So if that message is available, the success message is available. And if inside this, we need a for message in messages. And for all blocks should be ended. Then we create div alert success alert dismissible role alert. Then call the message value, this one. Okay, now we have finished our latest test our application. Let's run our application, local host. Okay, here. Okay, I missed here, not from here. There is error. Okay, then again run the server. Okay, config not found. Okay, module config. Okay, from objects config just call this name, maybe. Oh yeah, not config, just config. Okay, not okay. No modules model. Oh, more model. There is spelling error here. Okay. Here in index.py models. Okay, let's check again. Yeah, now it's the server is started, and let's run our application. Okay, let's create a new title, intro to Python, and description. Python is a powerful object-oriented programming. When you click, okay, create post did not return a valid or either returned indeed without a return statement. There is error in create post. Go to this in post, make sure the path name is create post did not return a value response. The function is a returner or ended with a return statement. Oh, here there is a spelling error. PSOET. That should be post. So a lot of errors have happened here. Intro to Python. Okay. Python is object oriented. Okay. Then yes, successfully created. Let's check our database. Localhost MySQL database. And when you run your application, automatically all the database will be created into MySQL database. If not existed, go to belog app database and look into post table. Post table is created. And all the columns are created, title, disk, post date, and title. All the things are created successfully. You can add more title. Flask. Flask is a lightweight micro framework written in Python. Then click create. Yes, let's refresh our page. Yes, Flask is okay. Go back to home, but the post is not displayed, retrieved, viewed on our home page. So to do this, go to the index.py route page, and in the index, because our what we want is to display the page, the database data on the home page like this. So in routes, just get data from database. Post data here. db.session.query post is the class name, model class name, or the model name. The order by post.id, ID of the post, which is auto increment, descending order, disk, and method all, get all post, and a render pass to the render template. And when you run this application, it will pass all the data into the template in index.html. Post data. Now go to the index.html file and in the content here, change the for loop by post in posts, which is passed from index index routers rendered by index route, which also holds the list of posters. Then here posted on, just use the post date. This is the class, the field name in the database table. Here call post title name. Here call post disk. Now refresh your Below app web browser, and let's see the outputs, the views. Okay, undefined posts. Okay. Here, not posts, post. This. For every post in posts, just iteratively display all the posts from MySQL Database. This is the date from date column, this one, and the title Flask. This is the newest post is from the last in the database, and it will be displayed on the top of the Below app. And Flask layout, this is the description of this, and the second post is posted on this, and title is this. And so when you create a new post here, now let's SQLAlchemy. Alchemy is a mapper which is used to define and validate the database schema. Great. It's successfully created the post, and go back to home and you can see the post. So this is a simple way how to build a Below app using Flask and SQLAlchemy and MySQL Database. So the next time we will see how to edit, delete posts from MySQL Database. And for today, thanks for watching.